Good evening. I'll call the West Mead Township Board of Supervisors meeting for March 2020 to order. Roll call.
Jordan?
Here.
Chartle?
Here.
Bovard?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please note that all supervisors' public meetings are subject to public and/or private audio and video recording. Is there any public comment on the agenda items? Please note that public comment will also be received during each agenda item and at the end of the meeting. Entertain a motion to approve the February 11th, 2020 study session and regular meeting minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Jordan?
Yes.
Chartle?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's reports for February 2020 and approve payment of bills in the amount of $92,506.95, subject to audit.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion?
Some of this is equipment repairs. Fuel, I'm not sure what all, 100% of what it all is. I know some of it was equipment repairs that we had throughout the winter, so.
Yep. A lot of it is just basic, the fuel bill, everything, so a lot of it is,
Winter cost.
yep, just our normal costs. And then rec complex is also included in there, so that's a big chunk
Yep.
for this first quarter. We pay them quarterly.
All right, any additional discussion? Roll call.
Jordan?
Yes.
Chartle?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Municipal reports. Police Chief Chip Brown with the Police
Good evening.
Department.
For the month of February, we received 62 complaints. 57 of those were cleared. Time spent in the school zones was 6.5 hours. Total time on traffic watch and patrol watch in the township was 129.5 hours. 105.5 hours was spent in the office, with 52.5 hours of investigative time. There's a total of 18 hours spent in court and 22.5 hours of miscellaneous time running paperwork to different areas, to the lab, anything outside the police duties. There were 10 traffic stops for the month with 3 citations being issued, 1 for speeding, 1 for driving under suspension, and 1 for inspection violation. There were 7 warnings issued, 2 for speeding, 4 for faulty equipment, 1 for unregistered vehicle. There was a total of 48 investigations for the month. We investigated 1 reportable accident. There were 2 winter ordinance parking violation complaints. We assisted other police departments 4 times. We were assisted by other police departments once. We assisted fire and EMS 3 times. We assisted other agencies twice. We answered 1 residential alarm and 1 business alarm. We assisted citizens 5 times. Twice we were contacted with information from the public. Twice we had 2 welfare persons checks. We had 1 court subpoena service, 2 911 hang-up checks. There were 12 house checks and 1 request for fingerprints. We investigated 1 death by natural causes. There was 1 civil complaint, 1 sexual assault investigation, 5 DUIs, 1 minor prohibited to have alcohol in their system while driving. There were 3 drug offense investigations, 1 theft by deception, 1 fraud, 3 thefts. There was 1 PICS weapon investigation check, 1 physical assault, 2 domestic disturbance calls, 2 harassment complaints, 1 public drug complaint, 3 attempt to locate investigations, 1 runaway. There were 8 suspicious vehicle calls, 1 suspicious person calls, and 1 behavioral call. For the month, there were 2 felony arrests for theft by deception and home improvement fraud. There were 5 misdemeanor arrests. All of those were DUIs. One of those was for DUI with a minor, not to have any alcohol in their system. And there were 3 summary arrests, 1 for public drunk, 1 for underage drinking, and 1 for minors prohibited to have alcohol. Mileage of all 3 vehicles was 2,093 miles for the month.
Okay, any questions for Chief Brown?
The only thing I have, I'm sorry to interrupt, the only thing that I have, just to kind of put out there, just like every other year, weather's starting to get better, complaints are starting to come in on speeding, not only on the main thoroughfares, but also on the side streets. You know, please slow down, kids are gonna be out playing. We're starting to get to that time of year where, you know, the clocks went ahead, so it's gonna stay, you know, lighter longer. So please slow down. You know, we try to be out there, try to be visible, but you can't be everywhere at once. Just please slow down in the areas. That's all I have.
I see there was, as far as the house checks, there were 12 in February and none in January. Any idea?
House checks are when someone goes on vacation or leaves. They'll submit a form to us and ask us to keep an eye on their house while they're gone.
Okay.
So we try to log, you know, at least that we made a house check in case something would happen. So sporadically throughout the year, it just depends on who leaves and contacts us.
Okay.
We have 2 in the township that for over 20 years have been very consistent with letting us know when they leave, and so we keep an eye on the area.
All right, any other questions for Chief Brown?
No.
Thank you, Chip.
Yep, thank you, sir.
John with the road report.
From 2/11/20 to 3/10/20, we actually had 8 days of winter maintenance, which required us to either be out plowing snow or just putting down some salt and anti-skid materials to keep the roads clear, just good thawing agents. We were out and made another round of cold patch to try to get to the potholes, and it looks to me like it's going to be one of those years where we're going to have a steady flow of potholes. So we'll stay on them as much as we possibly can. If you see something we missed, why call and let us know. We had quite a bit of road sign repair, post lights, stuff of that nature. And a lot of it's just due to the wet ground and wind and stuff that we've dealt with in the rain. And we've had quite a few culverts, plug culverts that we've had to open up, ditches, and ditching on Springs Road Extension. We started that actually here a while back. We've been cutting brush down on Springs Road Extension and Hobbs Road as well. We're going to try to do quite a bit more work between Springs Road and DeVore, and try to get it ready for a possible paving project. We were hoping for this year, but it looks like because of the workload, it's going to take us into next year. Plus, there's a major gas project going on up there too, where there's going to be quite a bit of equipment staged there at Tamarack, not at the access area at the lower side, but on the north side of the lake. So there's going to be quite a bit of heavy equipment up and down DeVore Road yet this year. So we're kind of holding back just to make sure that we don't waste any money in that project. So again, we've been cutting quite a bit of brush on Springs Road Extension and Hobbs Road as well. Quite a bit of maintenance to equipment this month here, where we did quite a bit of work, or service work, to the police department cars. We did a complete service on them and a thorough cleaning inside and out on them. Miscellaneous service that we had to do to township trucks, some oil changes and stuff of that nature, and then some repairs, minimum minimal repairs to the plows, and then we had to make some adjustments to some of the wing plows on the, one on the new truck and then one on one of the other trucks to just keep that wing so that it rides better on the berm of the road. And we also had quite a bit of work to do to get a couple of the trucks ready for state inspection. And then now we're actually starting to stockpile our summer materials. We've ordered 1B limestone and 2A limestone. The 1B limestone for our seal coat projects, and the 2A limestone for some work that's going to be done down at Oak Grove Park for a new playground that Jill's got lined up for us to do the subgrade work, and then they'll be in and put all the equipment together. So that's pretty much so our month. So a lot of brush cutting for the most part. So other than that, that's it. And I think we're done with winter, I hope. So.
Ooh, that's a broad
You're awfully
statement.
optimistic.
Oh, boy, that's
I
a
don't know
broad
about-
statement.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
Remember a few years
I
ago.
hope you're right.
I remember a few years ago, it snowed on May 15th.
Yeah.
yeah, no, jeez.
All right,
I hope.
any questions for John?
No.
Yeah, thank you very much. Jill with the zoning report.
For the month of February, we had a demolition of a single-family dwelling. This has been a long time coming, so glad to see it happen. And I do have, we're working on scheduling a variance hearing through the zoning hearing board for a potential billboard on 322, down on the lower 322. So that's something we're working on, but it hasn't been a definitive date yet.
Okay.
Any questions for Jill?
Yeah, just one quick one. Was that just the permit that was issued?
For the demolition, yes. Mhm.
Okay, is there a contractor, or yes, no? You don't have to say who it is, but is there a contractor
Yes,
for the demo?
yes.
Okay.
They're doing it, they're going to do it themselves mainly.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it just concerns me sometimes that some of that stuff doesn't get to where it needs to get to, and that's a landfill.
And that's a good point, because a lot of times people want to
They
get a
wanna burn.
demolition, they want to burn, they want to just bury things. And whenever you get a demolition permit like this, there's things as far as even plugging the sewer correctly,
Right.
making sure that the electric's disconnected. So they have to go through some procedures, and then it states on there, and they know they have to take it to a certified landfill or properly dispose of it. And then the property has to be, filled in. You can't leave a big gaping hole there, so it has to be seeded and kind of finished off, so that, so there are procedures that'll happen, so,
Did that particular property change hands?
yes,
Okay, so that's a plus.
yes, that was a purchase.
Well, I know some of the utilities were cut off because we had the one calls on them, but I don't know about everything. So I just get concerned when somebody says they're gonna do it themselves, because the next thing you know, you drive by and everything's on fire. So
Well,
I
and-
just don't agree with that. So I just wanna make sure it goes to a landfill is what I really would like to do,
Yeah,
so,
and that's,
yeah.
we'll pay attention to make sure that the procedures are followed.
Sounds good. On to the regular business. I'll entertain a motion to reappoint John Kerr and Jim Bucci, each for a 4-year term ending April 2024, to the West Mead Township Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion on that motion?
they've done a good job for us.
Yes.
And 2024, that's a ways away, but hey,
Not really.
Well, it's a,
maybe not, you're right.
it's a
Mike.
4-year term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, that's a big number. But anyways, they've done a good job for us.
At your age, it probably is a big.
Well, not necessary. I
Not
only got
really.
one feeling, and he just stepped on it.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Jordan?
Yes.
Chartle?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Okay, item number 2 is to review the quotes for cleanup day. Jill and John,
Oh, yeah. You can read them, Jill, if you like. We all have them right here in front of us.
Basically, we had sent them out like we normally do 6 different entities, we did get 5 responses back. Advanced Disposal, Tri-County, Lincoln Recycling, Meadville Ready Mix, and Liberty Iron. I won't read everything, but basically the winning, or the best for the township, Liberty Iron would be the metal white goods at $175 per container. They are giving a rebate per gross ton of $115, so that makes it attractive. And then the Freon items, $175 a container also. And you may want to do the 40-yard containers and instead of the 30-yard. For the Freon items, it's up to, John kind of takes care of that. And then the trash goods, Meadville Ready Mix had the low pricing. For the 30-yard containers, it's $348 per container and $40.50 disposal per ton. So these are actually pretty good rates here, so considering the price of scrap and
Yeah. We've had good luck with Meadville Ready Mix in the past, and I'm sure that they'll do us a good job again.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to award the contracts to Liberty Iron for the metals and to Meadville Ready Mix for the trash items.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Jordan?
Yes.
Chartle?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Okay, cleanup day will be held at the Crawford County Fairgrounds on Friday, May 15th from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and then again on Saturday, May 16th from 7 a.m. until noon. And here's a nice flyer. Try and hold that up like Bill Rosenberger used to do for the camera, since Bill's watching. Please note that no loose shingles or uncontained small items will be accepted, but batteries will be accepted. Computers, televisions, and electronic items will not be accepted, but Lincoln Recycling and ECS&R accept them at a cost when items are taken directly to them. So acceptable items include appliances, furniture, mattresses, toys, bicycle swings, tools, mowers, equipment, metal items, vehicle parts, batteries, no tires, as we already mentioned, building materials from individuals, boxed shingles, lumber, drywall, windows, water tanks, etc. Paint cans if the paint is dry and the lids are removed. Not acceptable items, normal weekly trash and wet garbage, no bricks, no rocks, no concrete, no whole junk vehicles. Mention it again, no tires, no chemicals, no hazardous waste, no liquids, no commercial, industrial, or contractor waste, no loose shingles, or any unboxed small items. So again, May 15th and May 16th up at the Crawford County Fairgrounds like we've done for the last several years. Couple of notes. Please note that Judith's Jig Memorial 5K Run and Walk will be held on March 14th, 2020, beginning at 10 a.m. They will be starting and ending at Diamond Park in the city of Meadville after traveling out Terrace Street and back. Please remember to slow down when you're in that area on that day at that time. Another note, the 2020 census will begin on April 1st, 2020 and continue throughout the year. Residents are reminded to participate in the process by either completing the form online, by phone, or with representatives who will be visiting homes in the area. Additional information can be found online at www.census.gov. Hey, is there any public comment at this time? No public comment? Hey, Supervisors' final comment. Mike?
Oh, just a couple things. This cleanup day that we're going to have, it's important. And I mean, this is for our residents to clean up stuff that they've collected over the past year and everything. Please, I mean, this is a free service to you, not really free, but use it. Help clean things up around, you know, pick stuff up and get rid of stuff that you're not using. And then also, on the census. This is very important to us on the census, so make sure everybody to fill that out. That's a very important thing to our township and everything, because a lot of that has to do with money we receive and everything over the, so that's another important thing, I think. So, and that being said, that's all I have to say.
John?
Well, I just echo the same thing, and that is the cleanup day is pretty important. You know, we budget that every year, and who knows, you know, we've been fortunate to be able to keep it at 2 days, and it is getting tougher to do that. So I just would appreciate it if people would use it, and you know, bring some help with you, because, you know, our guys are busy. Some of the stuff that you sometimes load up is a little heavier than 1 or 2 guys can pick up. So if you have somebody, bring somebody, help us get it unloaded. And, you know, we don't want to be responsible for any dents, dings, or anything to anybody's vehicles. And so if you bring plenty of help and you get out and help, and we can make the process go home a whole bunch faster. So it just takes a lot of cooperation on all ends. But again, the main thing is don't bring anything loose, because if you bring a loose truck up there with loose material in the bed, you may have to go do it by yourself, because we can't tie everybody up on one truck trying to shovel stuff off of it.
No.
We've had that happen in the past.
No.
You know? So it just makes the whole process a whole lot harder to do. So, and the boxes with 30 and 40-yard containers, and you've got to toss that stuff up into them. Yeah, we have our machinery there, but again, we only have a high lift and a backhoe, and if you're trying to unload 8, 9, 10 people at one time, you know, it slows the process down. So just think it through and use the service, and we're happy to help you. That's all I have.
Just want to get the word out. Topic of discussion during our study session before the televised meeting was residential garbage collection in the township. At some point in the not-too-distant future, we're going to host a town hall meeting. It will probably be on a Saturday morning so that we can get as many of our residents and business owners to attend the town hall meeting as possible. And we'll have Brenda Schmidt from the Crawford County Solid Waste Authority here, along with Michelle Nestor, who is a consultant in regards to solid waste. And we'll be talking about garbage collection here in West Mead Township. John, Mike, any additional
No, that's-
comments on that?
No.
With that, my final comment will be to Bill and Becky Rosenberger, who for whatever reason apparently are watching at home. I guess it's a done deal. They are moving to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Their home has been sold, and they're moving this weekend.
Wow.
So I don't think Bill's going to be able to watch us anymore. So, Bill was my predecessor.
YouTube.
And also, Bill and Becky are very good friends. Like to wish them all the best down there. I'm sure we'll see him before too long. But like to thank him for everything that he did up here at West Mead Township, and been an awful good friend for a good many years. So
Yeah.
like to wish them all the best down south.
Yep.
Without further ado, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well, this meeting's adjourned, but we're going to return to
We
the,
have to return to our
Work
public
session.
study session, which we didn't finish.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can adjourn. So
yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Chartle?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.